Greetings and welcome to this episode on Geeks First. Today, we take our first look at the awesome new set, Outsiders. All that and more, right now. And here we are. We can see the brand new box of Outsiders, and these came from the Belgium print run. Now, for some of you that might mean something, but for others that's probably not that important. But for your collectors out there, there are two variations of this box in case you are curious. So in order to find more information about that, you need to look at the exterior of the box. So in this case, the white packing label is the one that is from the Belgium print run, and the red packing label is the one that you would typically see from the Japanese print run. So without further ado, let me get my screen-a-rooskies here figured out. All right, I need, nope, not that one. Nope. What is happening? Everything is backwards today. Everything is now backwards. All right, so here we are. We have our box of Les Outsiders. All right, so interestingly enough, this will be one of the first openings we're going to be doing here on the channel for the set of Outsiders, and we have some things in the works that will make these videos a little bit more entertaining. So that is coming soon to a box opening near you. Now, I was lucky enough to participate in a couple of the pre-release events here in my local area, and basically was able to attend 3 of these pre-release events. Now, that's awesome for a lot of reasons, for a myriad of reasons. And one of the most interesting things is that the characters that you could choose from between Arachne, Azalea, Riptide, you had Benji, you had Katsu, you had Uzuri, any of those heroes, each of those heroes had unique game plans, and within themselves, because of that, the play was very diversified. And we did what was called a sealed event. So you would get 6 packs and you build your deck from that. A couple things that had been noted from the event is that the Majestics were a little bit harder to get a hold of, so you would not have as many Majestic hits in your boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom right on in here, and we'll get started with this first box as we experience Outsiders together. All right, first up we have Seek Horizon Blue. This is the generic, and what's nice about this set is that there are many generics to choose from, which gives the ability to build or stay wide open in some of your decks to begin with. Now, for those of you curious, this video will be a tad longer because this is the first time I'm revealing these cards on my channel. So because of that, we're going to let others enjoy, and if you want, you can skip toward the end to see our hits, but this video will be a little bit longer just so that we can enjoy and kind of soak in a lot of the new cards here in Outsiders. Springload is another generic here, and this one I did actually use quite a bit when I was drafting. Destructive Deliberation is a fantastic art piece. I very much enjoy the art on this card. Peace of Mind. Now this was the Team Covenant, I believe, promo card, or there was a promo card of this that Team Covenant had. And it is a generic instant that prevents damage, and that is very useful in Outsiders. Murkmire Grapplin. This is it's kind of neat because in a weird way they almost did homages to several content creators in this set, and their names. 1-2 Punch for 1-2 Juice, Murkmire I believe for Murkmire Grapnel for Chris Sayers. And, you know, it's interesting when you start looking at some of the names of these cards. Isolate here. Now, here's a reprint from WTR. Surging Strike. This is a Ninja staple. Widowmaker. That card was useful for Ranger. Both Azalea and Riptide. Wither is an Assassin card here with Stealth. That was leveraged a lot by Arachne. Bloodrot Trap, this was the dual class slot here, so you can have this used in both a Ranger and or an Assassin slot. And look at that, right off the cuff, you got a Give and Take Majestic. That is it's a good one. I like the generic Majestics in this set. They are very awesome. We got Fletch the Blue Tail. Now there's a series of 3 of these. There's a red, a blue, and a yellow. And it's awesome because the cards of that type have -1 when defending, so it's very useful if you know the archetype of your opponent's deck. Spike with Frailty, and that is a beautiful foil. You can see it glisten there, and just the art on this is just freaking amazing. All right, a piece of equipment here is Seeker Legs, and then we have the Deadwood Quiver, which on the back should have the other quiver. So between your Azalea Specialization and Riptide, that's what those were on a single token. And then the Frailty token here with Spider's Bite. So Spider's Bite is, of course, a reprint from the last set, which was Dynasty. So Assassin's kind of getting a little bit more love on that. Mr. Meow, are you wanting to say hi to everybody? Yes, you just want cuddles, don't you? All right, back on the generic train here, we have Free Whelming Renegades. Now we got Feisty Locals. That's pretty cool. Brush Off, another, you know, no block, no defense, but prevent damage, and this is a blue, so it's kind of pitchable. I don't know where that's going to fall. Another WTR, actually I take that back, this is Arcane Rising reprint here, Ravenous Ravel, I believe, and that being very useful to a lot. Now Infect is insane because of the Blood Rot pox, and it makes it much more intriguing. Falcon Wing here, ooh, go again. Yep, that's one of the Ranger arrows. Isolate, this is a dominated stealth card, so it's pretty detrimental to block it and then have it switched out. Back Heel Kick, Ninja, Murkmire again. Toxicity, this was the Rudy spoiler card if I remember correctly, and hi. The Toxicity card here, where you lose life, is fun. Plunge, there's the red Fletch the red tail. Prowl, again these foils, the art in this set just really gets, those foils just hit really well. Toxic Tips, this is a really great piece of kit that you can leverage. There's your Riptide, your hero. Azalea, your other Ranger hero on one token. You got your Izuri and Arachne, both tokens. And it looks like you really want to say hi. So hold on. I'm gonna go and show you. This is Mr. Meow. Mr. Meow wanted to come and cuddle. Isn't that right? You like cards. See, look, the camera over there. Nope, okay. You just wanted to sit on my lap. Alright, we're going to get me back where I need to go. So, alright, here we are back. After that cat intermission, this is going slow, folks. Scout the Periphery. This is another really fun card. It's really great because it allows the next action to get a bonus. Now, this is not specific to having a Ranger card because it's generic, but I typically use that in the Ranger selection when I was playing Constructed. Another one of those Destructive Deliberations. Peace of Mind, getting the different pitches here. Falcon Wing. Maligan. Ooh, I don't really know. I didn't see much of this played against me, but I didn't play much Arachnes. Descending Gustwave did get played. That was kind of exciting. Widowmaker is just that for Ranger. That's just such a fun arrow. And Sedate. Look at that artwork. Oh yeah, that's great. Surging Strike again. Short and Sharp. This was played when I did my Ninja build there toward the end of my, I think, third draft. This card was a nice, like, over the top, just kind of pushes a little bit of extra damage. Bonds of Ancestry. Ooh, Infectious Host. That's a fun one. The tokens, man, getting those tokens, the different ones are going to be insane. Now here's Descendant Gustwave. That's our foil. Seeker's Hood. And then you got your tokens, Inertia, Katsu, Spider's Bite, and Ponder. Now, something to note is, at least in the boxes that we opened at pre-release, there were a couple of the tokens, or even a couple other cards that we saw that had been crimped. I don't know if that was something specific with maybe like the first couple of boxes that we're getting open, but we found crimps in several of the pre-release kits. Come to Fight. Again, another reprint, and still a really useful card. Brush Off again. Infecting Shot. This one is so fun because of the blood rot. Mulligan. See, now that we're starting to see all these again, we can go a tad faster. Sedate. Plunge. Infectious Host. Fletch the Yellow. Spire Sniping. Again, really neat looking card. Mask of Shifting Perspectives. Barbed Castaway. And Kadachi's. Super, super cool stuff. There we go. Alright, still only at 1 Majestic, and we are now almost a fourth the way through the box. So, back to the just giving you some cool cards. Oh, Freewheeling Renegades. Again, awesome card. But, you know, if it's defended by an action card, it gets -2. So it really is kind of... It negates some of the bonus that's there. Be Like Water is another extremely fun card for ninjas. Razor's Edge, that was kind of alluded to real early. I think that was one of the first cards in this set. Twin Twisters, if I remember right, is actually a reprint from Everfast. Prowl. Bleed Out, there you go. Ooh, Melting Point. There you go. Next arrow gains +4, and if it has an aim counter, when this hits, destroy a one-handed weapon they control with base attack 1. This is definitely some super fun stuff. Laced with Blood Rot, again, just a super awesome card. Bonds of Ancestry. There you go. That's our foil. The Seeker's Gillet and Barbed Castaway. And Spider's Bite. Now, in this setup, I haven't seen near as much of the gold or the silver pop from the former sets that had the... I mean, it's still there. I think it is just a byproduct of how they're sealed, because there's still this silver sparkly stuff that kind of comes out. So, Ravenous Rabble Red. Scout the Periphery. Peace of Mind. Freewheeling. Withering Shot, there we go. Deadly Duo, that's just neat. I like the artwork on that. Now, is there a piece of artwork in here that maybe you have found that you like the most? This is just a beautiful, I could just see that being like a wide landscape photo. This one apparently people keep saying is reminiscent of another celebrity that's out there that did stuff with Magic the Gathering. Post Malone for some reason. I don't know why. I don't really see it, but, you know. Blood Rot Trap. Traps are an integral part here of the game plan. There's another Descending Gustwave foil. Seeker's Hood. Pox and Riptide. Alright. Benji making an appearance here. Brush Off. There we go. Another Ravenous Rabble for you. Cut down to size. Feisty Locals. Widow Maker. Be Like That Water. Mulligan. Sedation Shot. Deadly Duo. Short and Sharp. Looking for a Scrap. Lace with Frailty. That one I did not see very many of, but it does seem like a good one. Oh, and foil. Infectious Red Shot. That is a hot to trot commodity. Mask of Shifting Perspectives, and a couple of tokens. I'm kind of excited that they gave out a little bit more of the dual class cards. If you watch some of my older content, I did talk about there being the possibility of a dual class legendary in this set, or dual class cards, and I'm really glad that they did that, because it makes the generics a little bit less detrimental to affecting multiple classes versus having their effect, you know, put into a specific class where they're trying to target. Again, toxicity, the red one here, lose 5 life. That is, it's just such a... I had a hand. It was like toxicity, the red arrow, and it was the infecting shot and one other. And I took a bunch of damage one turn. I put all that out there. They ended up blocking it, but if they wouldn't have, it'd been like lose 10 on hit 2, blood pox, and it was nasty. It was very, very crazy. Oh, Codex of Blood Rot. There we go. Look at that. Each hero puts a card from their hand face down to their arsenal, creates a ponder token under your control, and a blood pox token under each opponent's control. Each opponent. So that's really cool for us to be able to look at in multiplayer format. Fletch the Yellowtail. Fisticuffs. There we go. All right, we're back. Sorry, had something to take care of real quick. I'm still, you know, I'm opening this on top of this dash mat here, and I'm still, you know, kind of sad that we didn't get to get a new mechanologist, but it's made up for by the fact that this set is just so intriguing overall. Like, the cards themselves are just, you know, awesome. The artwork is obviously very above board. You know, it's everything that I would hope for in a set that I didn't expect, and it still has the aesthetics or the vibe of, like, you know, this post-apocalyptic style or grunginess that I really personally like to enjoy. So here's a Hurl as an additional cost. You may pay 1 if you do. It gains when this hits. Destroy the dagger. So this is a way to just push a little bit extra damage over the top and get you into that situation where once you get them down for the last couple of hits, that they are pretty much going to be in super danger zone for a majority of that time. So, you know, there's a lot of gameplay styles that I saw as everything kind of was being discussed, and different people went through different, you know, deck builds, switching your heroes out in the middle of playing. It really lended to a very, oh, there's your 1-2 punch card for 1-2 juice. There you go. Whoop whoop. It lended to a much more exciting, not knowing what you're going to go into, because each hero within this set had multiple variations to build, which means that you had multiple variations to watch out for, such as a boulder trap. When this defends with an attack greater than its base, put a -1 counter on equipment that target hero controls. So you basically can shut out their equipment. Now, in the sealed section, there really wasn't as much equipment, but like as an example, this Mask of Many Faces, it's great for what it does, but it only has 1 defense, and this is a great way and limited to fill in those gaps for some of those combos that you were trying to run that you may have not hit that card in the middle, or, like, you know, if you're missing a head jab but you really need one, it kind of can help smooth out those turns. More locals that are feisty. Scout in the Periphery. Man, that's just such a rockin' card. Malign, Descending Gust Wave, Falcon Wing, and Factoruski. We're gonna, yeah, there we go. Virulent Touch, Spike with Inertia, less target attack action with stealth, gains +3, and when this hits a hero, create an inertia. It's pretty good. Spinning Wheel Kick, Peace of Mind. This would be, I want that as a playmat. That art is just really good. Who's the artist on that? Rishavinzi? I cannot pronounce that name, but that art is phenomenal. I applaud. I don't know why that art calls out to me. All right, Seek Horizon, Ravenous Rabble, Sedation Shot, Sedate again. Now, I see these symbols, and I'm curious if those correspond or correlate to a style of gameplay, because there are different, maybe there's different, what's the word? Like, this one is a blood pox, so it has the blood pox. This one here is the inertia, so it has an inertia. It's like each of the 3 had their own little gang affiliation symbol that's with it. So like this one here, which does the blood pox, has a different symbol in the back. Maybe these mean something, or maybe that symbol will be useful. Spike with Frailty. Oh, we got a foil. Look at this. Head leads to tails. That's the first Majestic, but man, there is an insane printer like slice all the way across the middle of that card. Kind of a little sad, but yeah. When this attacks, name another card. This action has +1. I'm sorry, attack actions with the same name have +1 this combat chain. So that's a pretty neat little hit. Wayfarer's Crest, and more tokens. You know, similar to Uprising, there's going to be a billion tokens, like just tokens for days. So there will be absolutely no shortage of tokens. Ravenous Rabble, Springload, Malign, Deadly Duo, Twin Twisters, Sedate, Be Like Water, Withering Shot, Plunge. Next deck against +1. Toxicity again. Wreak Havoc. That's a stellar card. It's like a mini CNC. The red one is pretty nice, but it does call. I mean, I'm sure it'll find its place. It is definitely useful in its own regard. Murkmire here. Blade and Pox. I think that the most interesting thing about this whole set is the combination that even though there are not necessarily cards that will go into every set, because this set focuses on, you know, the Assassin and the Ranger, the generic cards probably will still see their way into several decks, especially the higher tier Majestics, versus saying, you know, specifically the commons. I mean, there could be some use cases to throwing some of these different ones in different sets, but we'll see. I think Seek Horizon's, you know, a good example of that. You know, as an additional cost, put a card from your hand on top of your deck. When you do Seek Horizon again, go again. So, like, there's probably a couple of archetypes that can leverage this. It's a 0, so it turns on your Kodachis. But, like, I almost could use this in a Mechanologist deck, technically. Even though it would be a non-boostable card, I could use this to put, like, a maximum velocity for my hand back on top of my library in case of some weird thing or some combination of something that I need to try to do, which maybe, again, combining that with the, you know, inertia token, letting you shuffle your hand in, could yield some interesting ways to hold cards and keep them. So I can see the generics being leveraged in a couple of different capacities, which is kind of neat. Virulent Touch. Collapsing Trap. I hit one of these in my pre-release kit, and sadly I hit no other traps, so I couldn't run the Riptide specialization, but it is very powerful. So because it's legendary, you can only have one, you know, in your deck, but it just discarding their hand and then draw that many -1. That's like a slap in the face. Sneak Attack. Looking for scraps. There we go. Inertia. Man, oh man. We'll put that there. Put that there. We're getting down to the last couple of packs in this box, and I have the 3 art pieces that we put up top earlier, so we'll see. I still haven't seen my cracked baubles. I don't see many of those. I'm kind of sad that you don't get them. I can't play my little game with my cracked baubles. I haven't seen very many of those. I didn't get a single one in my pre-release kit. I brought some with just in case I needed them, but obviously in a perfect world you're never going to want to put those in, right? Like, that's not, you know, not what you want to have. Infect, huh? Death Touch. Infectious Host. Frailty Trap. That is just, again, the art on that. Pretty solid. Another one of the mini tunics. It's called a tunic, so maybe they were trying to be funny and clever. Maybe they weren't. Brush Off. Come to Fight. This is a lot of red in this pack. Infect. Back Heel Kick. Isolate. Falcon Wing. 1-2 Juice. Go check their channel out. They got some pretty good stuff. Hurl. Humble. Back Heel Kick. What do we got? 1, 2, 3. We got a chunk of packs remaining. We got a Ponder. Peace of mind. Come to fight. Brush off. You'll start to see at this point we've hit most of the commons, and we're really slowing down on the rares just to kind of give some idea of some of the rares we may not be seeing very often. But there we go. Barbed Undertow. Look at that. Barbed Undertow has an aim counter on it. It gains when this hits a hero, choose red, yellow, or blue until the start of the next turn. They can't pitch cards to the chosen color. So that just shuts off. Just shuts off decks. Death Touch. And your rest. Perfect. For sure. Super fun. What's your favorite mechanic in this set? That's another question that you can chat about in the comment section below. Like, is there something that you're very excited that they brought back, or you know, that they kind of went with, like the inertia or frailty or even the blood pox? Like, are those things that you can see them bringing into other classes, or are they locked into, let's say, the assassin class as a as more so to keep it in line with that's what their character is known for, versus going out and having that as a multiple of kind of a scenario? So, because, you know, I would imagine that there are going to be certain abilities and certain things that we see over the course of this game that, like stealth, probably won't really show up on other classes outside of maybe in the core class it was identified with. Recoil. Sneak Attack. It's such a, like, you know, unassuming card. So, be like water. Seeker's Gilly. Alright, we're down to the 4. Last one before we go to the 3 we set aside for the art pack. So, let's see here. Brush off. Cut down. Ravenous Ravel. Sedate. Surging. Wither. Razor. Plunge. Wreak Havoc. Bonds of Ancestry. Falcon Punch. I want to say that every time. And Toxic Tips. Alright, we're going to begin with Uzuri. The last 3 here as we round out this box of Outsiders. It's been fun to look at all the art. It really has. Spire. Lace with Inertia. Just, it reminds me of Zelda. Like, there's a part that's Zelda. Oh, Gourd Belching. Look at that. It's a foil. Ooh. And we're going to talk about this for a second. So this is kind of neat. It's generic legs, and then target attack with 1 or less gains go again. So this is, again, something that can turn the tide in a game where you only have cards that don't have go again. Wouldn't work on that one. Cut down to size. 1-2 punch. Deadly Duo. Sedation Shot, huh? Bleeding Out. Just kidding, it's Bleed Out. Bleed Out costs X resource points less to play, where X is the total damage you've dealt with daggers as combat chain. So that could be a nice sleight of hand move. Get that in there. Be Like Water. Oh, Mask of Manifestation. Nice. And last pack. Last pack, last pack. Have not seen a cold foil yet. Doubt we will, but that is interesting that we have not seen a cold foil. So, could very well be that I got a lot of not so exciting boxes, but that's okay because the rest of the cards are exciting. 1-2 punch. Short and sharp. Hurl. Sneak attack and a foil Toxic Tips. Look at that. Nice. Fleetwood Sandals. And there we go. Alright, so that wraps out that box. Let me wipe those off. We're going to take a look at what we got here. So we actually got a significant number of Majestics, oddly enough. So we got a foil gore belching there. We got a barbed undertow. We got a collapsing trap. We got a head leads to tails foil. We got the Codex of Blood Rot, which is a dual class. You got a melting point, which is your ranger again, and you have a give and take. So we have a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Majestic cards that we got, and no cold foils, right? Just looking through one more time, we got a single piece of equipment there, got a generic and a generic. So yeah, I'm gonna put the generics in sleeves because we didn't get a lot of those, and then the only other one I want to put in a sleeve is going to be this Toxic Tips here, because I would imagine since generics can be played with everybody, that's going to be a long-term fun. Alright. So, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you hanging around for this extended version of a Outsiders box opening. Again, this was our first look at the awesome cards that are contained within the set of Outsiders. And for more content, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button. We'll be back for more. And until next time, enjoy gaming and have a fantastic time at your armories and meet some new people and enjoy the hobby. Your captain.